One of the biggest talking points after the Italian Grand Prix was the collision between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen that took both drivers out. Max has since been awarded a 3-place grid penalty for the upcoming race in Sochi, and Hamilton has now given his thoughts on this as quoted by F1 Insider. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Hamilton proud of stewards after penalty for Max. Hamilton began by admitting that the halo saved him. I feel very, very fortunate today. Thank God for the halo. That did ultimately save me and save my neck. He then explained why it was a shock to him. I don't think I've ever been hit on the head by a car before, and it's quite a shock for me. If you've seen the image, my head really is quite far forward. He reiterated that he is grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm still here. I feel incredibly blessed. I feel like someone was watching over me today. He then spoke about the risks involved in racing. I've been racing a long time and we are taking risks out there all the time. I guess it's only when you experience something like that you get that real shock of how you look at life and realize how fragile we are. He then reacted to the decision by the stewards to penalise Max Verstappen with a 3-place grid penalty for Sochi. I'm ultimately proud of the stewards. It definitely sets a precedent, and I think it's important for us moving forwards for the safety of the drivers. If you get away with things like that, then it's easy just to continue to do it. He signed off by giving his thoughts on Max just walking away from the scene of the crash without checking on Lewis. That was weird. Actually, we always want to make sure the guy we crashed into is okay. Fast feed. Max Verstappen feels that they were racing for position, but you need 2 people to work together to make the corner, and Lewis just kept squeezing until there wasn't room anymore for 2 cars, and that's when we crashed. When he exited the pits, he started to squeeze me going into turn 1, so I had to use the green part of the track. It was very tight, but there was room for me to go around the outside, and then I was pushed onto the orange sausage curb, Max elaborated. I was there to try and race hard but fair. I don't fully agree with the penalty as I believe it was a racing incident. It's very unfortunate what happened today, but we are both professionals and so we will move on, he concluded. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has stated that they are disappointed with the 3-place grid penalty but accept the stewards' decision. We felt what happened between Max and Lewis was a genuine racing incident. You can argue for both sides, but ultimately it's frustrating and disappointing to see both cars out of the race in what is proving to be an exciting championship, he added. The main thing today is that the halo ultimately did its job, and certainly this isn't the way we intended to finish the race. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff meanwhile suggested that as it is known in football, you call it a tactical foul. Max probably knew that if Lewis stays ahead, that is the race win gone possibly. It was clear for Max that his positioning would end in a crash. The stewards have made their decision, but it is clear that, without the halo, this could have been much worse, Wolff added. He then praised Valtteri Bottas, who did an incredible job coming from P20 and getting a podium for the team. He has been on top form this weekend, and P3 from back of the grid is thoroughly deserved. Valtteri Bottas, meanwhile, has revealed that he told the team that he was going to be on the podium, so he's glad. A great recovery from me. I don't think I've made up that many places in a race in my career, he added. Starting from the back is never easy, and in the end, I am glad we got more points than Red Bull today, especially considering where we were before the race. Probably one of my better weekends with Mercedes, he concluded. Red Bull's Sergio Perez pointed out that the Italian Grand Prix was a very eventful race and a real shame to miss out on the podium. With the penalty, I think we hoped for a wider view in the sense that it was my corner and I was ahead of Charles, but it is what it is. As a team, this wasn't our track. We weren't so strong here, so now we move on and look forward to Russia. There is still a long way to go in this championship, Perez stated. Is the 3-place grid penalty for Max Verstappen justified? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.